Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is your how to use your life path number to benefit you and others, because the life path is your spiritual spectrum, and the zodiac sign, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, is the tool, and it's the way that's being expressed. Now, Capricorns, you're going to use your individuality to lead. You're going to be used as an example as you go out and build. You might have to build things up on your own. You're initiating a new way to build and structure things up on yourself, predicated upon the foundation that you have laid, predicated upon your ego, predicated upon your selflessness, predicated upon leading for the sake of leading, and to innovate something new, being a number one. That when you're a number one, it's infinite amounts of space. You don't have to share a hall to fight for over this energy. But when you create a structure is going to manifest a number two, life path number two, how you relate that structure, how you use others to relate, to build yourself up, you know what I'm saying, to build up a relationship, to build up a rapport via practical things, via finances, via a status, via building up a status based off of relationship, because you are having a comparison, a shared values potentially. You're being the example of that, because life path 2 is about, relating, compromising, consideration, cooperation, teamwork makes the dream work, you know what I'm saying, sharing, you know what I'm saying, occupying two spaces at once while you are relating thoughts. And other than life path 1, being individual, leading, being independent, you know what I'm saying, self-sufficient, you know what I'm saying, self-striving and self-motivated, motivated from yourself, motivated for just being, motivated for just standing in the stance of ground zero, you know what I'm saying, being externalized from a force that pushed you out. Now you're pushing out another force, life path 2, life path 3, you know what I'm saying, this is what you manifest, this is the environment, this is the knock on wood, just for the sake of knocking on wood, to manifest positivity and positive affirmations and structure systems that you have built, that you have polished off based off of your relationship, based off of the sex between you and the individual, the mind, chakras, intellect, things of that nature. Though it was not be a lot of talking, but you use certain words and vibratory tones within that life path of 3 vibration spectrum to manifest what you have in the environment, to manifest the totality, to manifest even the death that the individual that you're relating with may break off and create a compromising energy, a compromise that's compromising to your fortitude, your strategy, because it's compromising something that you shared, a piece of information. Now you are in competition with the individual. It's like things external to you, things external in your realm, things your mind went out and expanded. Now you're looking at different versions of your minds via past, present, or future. Past, present, or future, via, you know what I'm saying, whether it's hard, whether it's software, structure, whether it's different materials that you guys accumulated together. And I say competition because life path 4, this is the concept, the main concept. Did you have a concept when you was an individual, you were just doing things and you're related, you know what I'm saying, not to go through the life paths from the beginning, but, you know what I'm saying, the concept, the higher idea, the higher octave idea, the bigger bubble in space that you take as you have expanded so far out that all your micro tiny minds have just, decided to, go under a hierarchy, you know what I'm saying. This is very idealistic, conceptual, visionary. Like, it's a visionary, but without the vision. It adds the airy to it. It adds the travel, the moving, the expanding, the broadness and the awareness, the ups and the highs and the lows of the ideas and thoughts and feelings as they birth these things, as they birth ideas on ideas on ideas on ideas on ideas. And you can kill off each idea to get back to an original idea as you stray and go further out into different natures, different realms. You know what I'm saying? This is very the cornerstone. This is very final. This is very labeled. This is very standing on business. This is very putting out a product. This is very pushing out. This is very external. This is very aware. This is very like one joint, you know what I'm saying, thinking endeavor, where you're pushing out a lot of logical ideas in the airy form to communicate for the sake of communicating any place at any time with others, and using your structure, using your status to move that about, using your status to expand the different bubbles, using your status to gain rapport and to gain a reputation, minds outside of you based off others' opinions. And you're setting that example of how that's going to look based off of what you have built, what system is going to create to uphold these things, to maintain these things, to be a cornerstone, to be people, places, and things, and situations, and ideas there when you're not in place. Like considering life path 5, the general wave, you're very practical, so you're not very much attached to the emotions, but you'll be an example of how just having the status, having the reputation, and the materials isn't enough to what is going to motivate you, what you are going to go home and meditate on deep in your emotions, with your feelings and your emotions, how you're going to care about the product that you created and generated. You'll be an example for people to watch, even when you're not watching, based off of the care and the maintenance of what you have put into that you know what I'm saying, that gift, that emotion, that pentagram, that 5-point star, that top, the androgynous, the middle, the seeing, the yin and the yang, being the internal, being the external, being the moving force, being the caring, being the nurturing, the heart, the mothering nature, you know what I'm saying, the mothering nature, you know what I'm saying, the overall concept of the emotion that sets the direction, that sets the tone, that sets the planetary body, having different faces, having a broader and slower force because it's on a bigger spectrum, right? Life path 6, you are being a star, your personality, you're building, you're shining, you're gliding across these things, you're setting up reflections, you're setting up mirrors, you're emitting light that's traveling, that's emitting other lights, that's tiny lights. You're potentially being an example of being blinding, that you attract those, you attract the parasites just by the reputation, attracting your reputation, you know what I'm saying, being the example of not getting lost into that light, that reputation. You know, you don't really care about the vainglory, you really care about what's practical, what makes sense to you, but you need to know how to use that attention that you're receiving, even if you don't see it as even if you don't see it as not commerce, but let's just say money, you know what I'm saying, currency. Even if you don't see it as currency, life path 5, if you don't see it as currency, what you manifesting, you know what I'm saying, life path number 7, you're separating or being demonic or being natural or being a pillar or being aligned with or being set with or being into motion, you know what I'm saying, motion in the ocean, being the broader spectrum of awareness of all the accumulated energies that are bouncing off of each other, piggybacking and interacting and creating temperature and temperances amongst each other, having a higher angle thought of how you can separate, you truly separate from your buildings, people, places, and things, truly from your status, from your reputation report, decide whether you want to be seen as that thing or you want to go from a different angle. You can travel abroad to a different spirit and spectrum of the department, like an undercover boss that shows up. This is how you're going to use your separateness, being seen as standoffish, while, you know what I'm saying, monitoring the direction of an emotion, you know what I'm saying, being an example of seeing from different life paths that are learning different traits from you. Life path 8, higher authority, strength, structure, love, infinite time in something, evolving, death and the rebirth, the phoenixing, and things of that nature, right? So this is the hierarchy of the structure system. This is the concept that says, hey, you are using this system. Hey, you're not going to go too far in this system and abuse this power and laws, and you're going to add restrictions, you know what I'm saying? You're ruled by Saturn with these life paths, so you be very restrictive, very closed off, you know what I'm saying? You'd be very set in boundaries, but you have to expand to set the borders, and you have to ground them, and you have to check out the land. So that's what, if infinite time that you're spending, being an example of not spending too much time and procrastinating, you know what I'm saying, procrastinating on bullshit on the smaller spectrum of your buildings, you know what I'm saying? Life path 9, this is the wisdom, experiences that you've gathered. You're teaching these things, you're being an example. Your institutions may teach these things, your locations may teach these things, the things you use or the things that use you. Wisdom and teaching and experience may use you based off of what you build, that pushing the people, placing the things with your reputation, using your reputation and the energy out of that, putting you in the buildings and the perspectives that that you are setting yourselves up for this wisdom, and just moving how you move with the experiences, learning how the overall government and structure systems of this world, based on the higher octave of that level, are participating. Life path number 11, and being selfish with others' individuality. You're not just relating life path 1 or 2. You are being an individual, creating alpha squad, you know what I'm saying? You may butt heads, you may have some stubbornness, you may rub others the wrong way with your stubbornness. You might be the example of how to not be too stubborn, you know, how to have your cake and to eat it, not having your cake and wanting to eat it too. You know what I'm saying? This is what you're here to learn on the double octave of being manifested down here, like path 11. It's, you know what I'm saying? Everything independent. You're being independent. You're working independently, but you're independent with others. You are self-serving, you're self-gratified, but you're self-aware of another's individuality. You're so much aware that you naturally just play out, you know what I'm saying, over competitive, overcompensating for another's individuality. Like Path 22, this is relating your system, relating relationships, building rapport, and looking at others' rapport, how they are coming up, how they're accumulating. You know what I'm saying? You're too focused on moving and shaking and making things happen, but at the same time, where you're making things happen, you're rubbing shoulders and rubbing elbows and creating friction and temperament with others in that realm, that spirit realm and reality and things of that nature. Like Path 33, this is manifesting the environment and things of totality. This is the gift, this is fulfillment, this is death, but this is putting to death, while at the same time bringing, manifesting the clashing of two worlds, morphing together into an entirely new and different way. Structured systems of materializing your status and things which you have in money and currency and new forms of currency relating with other forms of currency that is trying to be competitive of what you both value, with putting the energy behind it, putting the energy work behind it. Thank you.